Ethan, that's amazing. And I will tell you, the chip shot and the bucks for steak, almost. So, a lot of thanks to the Kentucky Golf Foundation and the Hall of Fame Committee for this great honor. And also congratulations to the other inductees. It's truly an honor to be inducted and be part of the class of 22 with all of you. Sally, wherever you went, thanks for hosting up here. Connie, thanks for all you did to organize this event. It's quite amazing. And really, and Ethan, the video. I wondered what you were doing with some of the shots, but I seen it. And really, the entire Golf House Kentucky staff for all that you do for our golf in our state. It's phenomenal what you all do. It's just amazing how humbling this can be. You just never think about it as you're going through your career. And I've had a 50-plus year career in the business. Never thinking about a Hall of Fame honor. It just, I guess, over time, you just do what you do, and you enjoy what you're doing. And golf has been so good to both me and my family over the years, and it's pretty amazing. As Pat said, and Pat, thanks for those kind words, Pat Stevens. It's like I have some people I want to thank, but I'd like to share a few things about some events and individuals that impacted me over the years. And as Pat mentioned, how did I get here? And my brother Jim, right down here, we started playing golf at a golf course in Fort Wayne, Indiana, a public course called Fairview. It was, I would call, a fairly low budget course. Would that be an accurate description? It was $30 or $35 a year for a junior membership. Short bike ride from our house right to the golf course. It was easy. Our parents didn't play golf. I'm not even sure why to this day how they even signed us up for that, but they did. So we have to thank them for their support. And as Buddy mentioned, Buddy had his parents out on the golf course watching him. I had the opposite. I didn't want my parents anywhere near me when I was playing tournaments, and I think there were a couple times that I caught my mom out there behind a tree or a bush or something. Passed that on to Jeff and David. They didn't want anybody watching them, and I think now Jeff's daughters, Hannah and Abby, they're not big fans of having people watching them, parents watching them on the golf course either. But Fairview was a great place to grow up. There were a lot of kids out there. We could play every day. I mean, we spent the entire day out there sometimes, and it was very competitive, great environment to hang out with. And that's how we learned the game. And we still have, Jim and I have stayed in touch with some of the people we played golf with back then, and they've become lifelong friends. It's pretty amazing, some really great memories. And we didn't know at the time, found out much later that the original front nine at Fairview was laid out by Donald Ross in the 1920s. We didn't know that. We wouldn't have known who Donald Ross was probably at that point anyway. So the course is still there. It was actually later renamed the Donald Ross Golf Club. Still there today. And so I guess we could actually say we grew up playing a Donald Ross golf course, which, even though it was pretty basic layout, the holes, but it was a lot of fun. Great memories from that. The other significant thing that happened at Fairview was Jim and I started working there at some point, both in the clubhouse and on the golf course. And but to me, it never seemed like work. I just enjoyed being out there, whether I was playing or working or just hanging out or doing whatever. And so I continued to work there at Fairview through my college years at Michigan State in the summers. Came back every summer and worked and played a lot of tournaments at the same time. But of course, my big plan after graduation was I was going to play the PGA Tour. That was my plan of attack. And the only problem with that plan was there were a few other pretty good players about my age at the same time that had the same idea. You might recognize some names: Tom Watson, Ben Crenshaw, Tom Kite, Lenny Watkins, Andy North, Craig Stadler, Gary Koch, and there's a few others. So thinking a little more clearly, I decided maybe I should pursue a career as a PGA professional. Just like my boss at Fairview, Bob Cruz, PGA member, who really was my first mentor in the golf business. I was so fortunate to have him there, and I really wanted to do what he did. I just enjoyed watching him go about his business every day, managing our golf course, and he actually managed 2 courses in Fort Wayne, Fairview being one of them. He had a great impact on getting me started, really in a lifetime career in the golf business. And really, I just watching him, and I decided that's really would be something I would want to do for the rest of my life. So And after college, I had the really great fortune of landing an assistant professional job at the Fort Wayne Country Club with under PGA member Bill Kratzer Sr. I played high school golf on the same golf team with his son Billy Kratzer, but I never played the Fort Wayne Country Club. It was this mythical thing. We would drive by it on the road, on Covington Road and Smith Road, and this beautiful looking golf course, but never played it even though Billy and I were on the same golf team. Now, to give you an idea what it was going like from Fairview, where we grew up, to being an assistant professional at Fort Wayne Country Club, it's kind of like the scene in The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy's house lands and she opens the door and walks out and it goes from black and white to color. It's like this thing. Fairview had this tiny old wooden frame building of a clubhouse. I think it was the back end of a house actually that became our little pro shop. It had no water fairways, greens were a little rough, the cart fleet was all broken down. The sand bunkers, we had about 6 or 8 bunkers on the golf course, maybe this was it. More dirt than sand. On the other hand, Fort Wayne Country Club had this beautiful brick 2-story building with these big tall columns, just a magnificent thing to look at. Bent grass greens really fast, white sand bunkers, bent fairways, and in the most beautiful entrance drive I'd ever seen. When you drive in, it's really, really pretty. So I spent 4 years there at Fort Wayne Country Club working for Mr. Kratzer. Learning the business, member service, and really everything you needed to know. Some would probably say that Bill was an old school taskmaster, the way he ran his shop. And so those of you who work for me, I can see you sitting over here, kind of know where that came from. But really the training under Mr. Kratzer, what I learned, and really more importantly, the connections I made through him were really instrumental in getting me to my first head professional job, which was a club in Franklin, Indiana called Hillview Country Club. Well, Hillview was really the perfect first head pro job. It was a fun golf course, a nice small town private club, great membership that really kind of allowed me to make all those early head professional mistakes you make when you get your first job. Playing was a pretty big priority for me back then. I had a decent amount of success playing in some Indiana PGA tournaments, but really the most important thing is I got my first taste of PGA section involvement on the Indiana PGA board and on the employment committee in Indiana. And that was the first time I'd really been involved as a volunteer, volunteer service. After 9 years at Hillview, we moved to Louisville to Audubon Country Club in 1986, came to Kentucky. Our time at Audubon was just a wonderful experience, a great golf course, really active junior program that I really enjoyed so much, a very supportive membership that really was a joy to serve with. Carol was a big part of our operation there in the golf shop. We had really the privilege of working alongside so many wonderful assistant professionals as part of our team there, and I'll get to more of that in a minute. I want to touch more on that as I go. The other thing that was really enjoyable during my Audubon years was ended up serving 3 terms on the Kentucky Section Board of Directors, and on the employment committee, which really kind of being chairman of the employment committee became a real passion of mine at that point. And I've had a number of people over the years ask me about my decision to leave Audubon, which was late in 1999, to go to work for the PGA as a regional career services consultant. And really, when the PGA approached me about that new opportunity, I really wasn't looking for a career change. I figured I'd be at Audubon for many years and probably retire there at some point and kind of ride off into the sunset. But the PGA opportunity felt like a calling because of my involvement on the employment side of the PGA work. And so really I ended up spending the second chapter of my career, so to speak, 17 years working for the PGA. And it was so rewarding to help PGA professionals with their careers and their job searches, help guiding employers through the hiring process where they were hiring PGA professionals, and also working with the various PGA sections that I served on their employment activities. So that's kind of a brief summary. It's been an interesting journey from day one to now, and a lot of years. And I have a lot of people I want to thank that helped me along the way. First of all, to those of you who were thought enough of me to put my name into the nomination process and write some just awesome letters. I didn't see them till after the fact, and honestly, they brought tears to my eyes. They were just really amazing. To the wonderful members and leaders, club leaders of both Hillview and Audubon Country Clubs. They embraced Carol and me right, and our sons Jeff and David right from the start. It was just a pleasure to be a part of those. And two of our members are here tonight, John and Yvonne Boyd, sitting right out here. Two of the best, longtime dear friends. John, my former Audubon golf chair, as you saw in the video, regular golf partner, like another brother to me as well. You guys, we cherish our friendship with you and the things we do with you, and that's it's a blessing. To my friends Phil Armbruster, who's here tonight, Charlie Elbert, when they were with Power Wheel Golf, and really supported me as part of their Power Built Home Pro staff for all those years. I was the club professional. That was a great relationship, and they were of so much help to me. To PGA of America leaders Marty Cavanaugh and John Henry, who of course aren't here, but they took a chance on me back in 1999 in making me a part of this newly formed, actually, National PGA Career Services team. Nobody knew if it would work or not at the time. It was pretty new. Now that's expanded. When I started, there were 7 of us serving as regional career services consultants serving the entire country. Now there's almost 24, 25. So the program has exploded, and we were part of the early part of that. I'm thankful for them for giving me that chance. To the PGA section, executive directors and leaders who were so supportive, Steve McMillan and Mark Hill from Kentucky, Mike David from Indiana, Dick Horton and Jeff Abbott from Tennessee, Ron and Jeannie Schmidt from the Carolinas right down here. Good friends, our traveling companions, member guest partner sometimes. Hopefully we'll win that one of these times. But I want to thank both of you for your hospitality and support all those years when I have all those meetings and times I traveled to Carolinas, and that was great. Really enjoyed that, so thank you. To the outstanding assistant professionals that we had the privilege of working with at Audubon, and even back to my Hillview days in Indiana, became PGA members, went on to very successful careers, far and above anything I've ever achieved, and I'm so proud of them. So many fond memories. I could probably tell a lot of stories, but we'd be here all night, so we don't want to do that. But they would tell some stories, probably that I don't even know about. But I feel blessed to have been a part of such a great team with all of them. We consider Carol and I, you're like family to Carol and me, and we're so proud of everything that all of you have accomplished. Some are here tonight. One didn't make it due to a flight problem that you might hear about on the news tonight. He was flying in from Atlanta. I'll get to that in a minute. But Eric Gilliman, my home pro at Audubon for all these years. And thank you so much. Mike Riley, part of my first staff at Audubon back in 1986 and went on to do great things. Damon Soper over here actually worked for me both at Hillview and Audubon. Bud Taylor was going to be here. He's director of golf at the Atlanta Athletic Club. His flight to Lexington apparently got turned around because of a plane on the runway here in Lexington, and he had to fly back to Atlanta. They turned the plane around, so he's not able to be here. Dan Strohmeyer over there. Dan, thank you so much. Craig Hebert, I know Craig, you're out here somewhere. Thanks for everything that you've done and everything you've accomplished. Scott Cowan, Kevin Main, Fred Mattingly, Chris Davis, Terry Thrasher, Matt Evelyn, Brian Fessler, Bruce Mollendick, and back from my Hillview days, Mike Griggs, Stan James, Tom Millad. You all made me look really good at times, so thank you for that. To my brother Jim, my fellow Spartan, my partner in crime all those years, early years at Fairview. We could tell some stories about that as well. I have so much respect for you. We enjoy our time so much with you and Sherry and your family, so thanks for being here tonight. To our family, Jeff and Andrea, Dave and Kristen, our grandkids, Hannah, Abby, and Rory, and our bonus grandkids, Patrick and Sean. Buddy was talking about, the times playing golf with family. I think my favorite, I played a lot of tournaments, had a lot of highlights in my career competitively, but I think the most enjoyable times are being on the golf course with family, playing with Jeff and David, and then later with grandkids, and even once in a while with Carol, who's really not a golfer, but once in a while we get the clubs out and do that. So thank you all. You bring so much joy to our lives, and we love all of you. And finally, to my wonderful wife, Carol, my biggest supporter through a lifetime in golf. Always a key part of our golf operation in Hillview, and Autumn did so much to help us be successful. Always there to celebrate the good times and help us get through the tougher times. Always encouraging me to believe in myself when maybe I wasn't so sure sometimes that I could do something. You've been the best part of my life, always, and I love you. Couldn't have done any of this without you. It's been great, been a great ride. So I'm really, truly honored to be a member of the Kentucky Golf Hall of Fame. This is, without a doubt, the highlight of my career and something I will cherish forever. So again, thank you all for this great honor. Thank you.